So let me tell you about ONTOOLS. Steve from ONTOOLS, that's just given us this. Gave us this challenge that we're about to do. I mean, it makes many and varied videos. Okay, we're wiring up a plug there, so if you need to wire a plug, you just find ONTOOLS and you find that video. He likes vintage tools. We like to pick up vintage tools and unusual tools, and look at that for a snap-on unusual set. And he sometimes does reviews of new tools. So when he's bought a new tool, he's replaced one with another one. Buying tools, an interesting and varied channel to watch about tools. And you know, he might just have be talking about the tool that you've got, that you're using. We're going to continue with the tool talks. It sort of died off a bit, but he gave me, and we looked at levels and spirit levels. He likes to go around car boots finding vintage, and I tell you what, he's got an eye. Wow, he knows what to find. He really does know what to find. The things that you and I would walk past and not see. If ever you've seen anyone bent down double, digging through a box, spending ages looking, that will be Steve. Yeah, if you see this person thinking, well, he's been there for 2 or 3 minutes now looking in this box, that will be Steve looking through the car boots. He finds some amazing, you know, difficult to find, and he makes bits and pieces, makes tools and tool racks, and so, and you might just want to catch up. He bought a pair of Nipexes. Have a look at the film about the Nipexes. It's very interesting. He finds some stuff. He goes slightly different car boots to what we go. I only go local. He goes fairly local, but he goes Stafford and Dudley and whatever. He likes to go a little further and find different car boots. So yeah. So Steve from ONTOOLS has kindly made us a challenge, and I am very, very late in taking it and doing it, but yeah, look, I have done it. I've made the video, so let me recommend ONTOOLS for you to go and have a peruse, and give them a subscribe. It don't cost you nothing. Give them a like, and you may just find the tool, done a review of the tools that you're looking at. So thank you for the challenge, Steve, and I hope we've entertained you. I hope I entertain you whilst I do this challenge now. Well, what do we have here? Well, this is something Steve from ONTOOLS gave me this. Come on. Yeah, gave me this as a challenge 6 months ago. Sorry, Steve, I didn't get round to doing it. I do it, forget it. Did it? Oh, do you know? So I'm finally going to get round to doing this challenge live and at the scene. Yeah. That doesn't look too bad. I've got a plan for that. I've got an idea for that. I think I've got the right tool to handle this. It did tell me there was a certain set of rules, things that I could and couldn't do, and I can't remember what the rules were. But these are screws, so I reckon once you've cracked them, they're on the way out, these two. I reckon. How we're going to get in there, he's just screwed it in and welded the top on it. That's going to be a mother to get at. It's going to be a challenge, isn't it? These I reckon I can handle. Let's get this one out the way first. I've got a little story. Do you know when you make these films, you sort of think about it overnight, don't you? Think, right, how am I going to handle it? What am I going to say? What am I going to use? That's okay, that's okay. I've got a plan on that one. We might even use the same tool on that, which is a bit boring, but we might come at it. I'm reckoning I'm going to try and use all of the tools that I have at my disposal here. Well, this at my disposal here. I think he did say we can't weld any more on it and build it up and then try and unscrew it. I can't remember. Anyway, let's persevere. So we're going to start with this way and work our way across. Now this is just there's nuts welded on. These are nut certs in there, so they're going to be, oh, I reckon just to get them moving is going to be a thing. It's only small. There's not going to be a nut resistance. I think we can't cut it. Can't cut it off and take it off. I've got to try and get around it, but I've got a plan for that. But you know, all my plans go awry. Anyway, we're finally, Steve, we are from ONTOOLS, we are finally going to take this challenge up. Yeah. And I've now thought of an excuse, and that's what it is, an excuse why the workshop is in one hell of a mess and why this is so behind. Do you know, I was so annoyed about, I mean, these waspy women must be absolutely crazy. These people, these ladies that had to work another extra 5 years plus. So I hope that isn't making too much of a noise. It's quite nice. It's quite, and not so expensive to run. They're working out okay. The reason I thought, oh, when I retire, I'll sort it. When I retire, I'll sort it. I've brought stuff in bags, put stuff on surfaces. Yeah, when I retire, I'll sort it. The stuff hiding away. I've gone to the car boot, I've bought stuff, and the stuff is still in the bags that are arrived in. We go in the room, we'd make a film, and that's it. I mean, this is what brought it to my attention the other day. Look at that. I went looking for something. I looked in the cupboard. Where the hell did that lot come from? I don't even remember that lot coming in. And doesn't matter where you look, there's pots of stuff. There's jobs to be done everywhere. And you know, I was talking to my mate the other day, do you know when you've got job number 1 to do, but before you do job number 1, you've got to do job number 2 to make space for it. But then before you do job number 2, you've got to do job number 3, so, and job number 4. And I think I'm about job number 10. I've got to do 10 jobs just to be able to achieve the first job that I've got to do, tidy up. So, and we've been distracted with the shelves, haven't we? Yeah, we've been distracted with the shelves, and some weekends you do it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you go out on the bike for the day, so that's something, another job that hasn't been done, another time you haven't spent. And do you know, it's quite busy being retired. Wow, it is more busy than you think being retired. Anyway, we are getting there. But anyway, let's do some tidying up. And let's crack on with this, shall we? Let's see, and how would a view have dealt with it? So let's do this one first. Little story, little reason for this one. I don't know if it's going to work, mind. With all these things, I don't know if they're going to work. And I don't know if I've left it too late. I don't think they're rusted. We haven't got a rust problem, have we? We've just got a... It's all about dealing with the grip here and what tools you're going to use to grip it. And what tools would you use to grip it? And that one, wow. We're going to keep that one to an end. We might cheat on that one. I'm sure he said we can't drill them out. I'm sure he said. But we might have to, just for no other reason than to show off a particular piece of equipment. So anyway, come on, let's start with this one. I've got an idea. If there's enough room between there and there, I should be. So this first one, I'm going to add a story to it. You know, we can all grip it. Vice grips, pliers, we can all grip that, can't we? So that's not going to be too difficult. Really, that's because you've got a clearance on the surface. So let me just tell you. Let me just use something, see if it works, and tell you why you should do the same. Yeah. So this is why I recommend, when opportunity knocks on your door, when you know, you can pick them up at the right price. And if you remember, we bought a whole load of these. We bought a bucket of them the same day we bought that bullet. Do you remember that bullet that was alive? And James from Time Flies in the Shop said, "Oi, that's a live round." And then we rang the police, and the armed policeman came pretty damn quick and took it away. Do you remember? We got a bucket and it took us ages to get them and clean them and try and get the inside of them and do all sorts with them. So what we're going to do, we're going to hammer a socket onto there. And that's why, buy them, you know, 10 pence each, 5p each. If you work them all out, just buy random sacrificial sockets, because they're so useful. So useful. I don't really want one like that. I want one more with more grip on it like that. I want one of them, a multi-point one, so we can hammer it on top of there. So what are we looking for? We don't want them. We want that type. There is a name to it, isn't there? Let's dig around, and we want the right size. Too big. Too big. Was that? No. Why did I put that there? Oh, no, that's the type I want. Ah, there we are. Oh, not quite. Look. And the thing is, Imperial, Metric, Whitworth, whatever size, you know, get a whole random of sizes. This is 3/8, isn't it? Yeah, so 3/8. Not quite. We want one size down from 3/8 in that form, so we can clobber them. No, too big. What was that? Metric 10mm. So we want a 9mm, or the one underneath 3/8, don't we? Yeah. So anyway, so let me just show you what other things I've used random sockets on. So whenever you find them, get them at the right price, in the car boot, whatever. Get them filthy, because they're metal, so they all clean up, you know. What did we do? I can't remember what we did. Did we put them in the mixer and rub them all together? You could put them in the mixer. We cleaned them, remember. We took ages and ages scrubbing them and cleaning them, and okay, they're not in, you know, showroom condition. But for this sort of job, it's going to be... Oh, that feels okay. Is that a 9mm? No, 3/8. 3/8. But that shape, that might hammer on. That might do. Oh no, no, it's going to slip. Yeah, it's gone over the top. Not that sort. Well, got to go a little smaller anyway. Let me do that. Meanwhile, let me show you. I mean, sockets. Where are you going to get an ultimate variation of bits of tube? So they're either a bar, a hollow bar. They're a tube. Let me just show you where I've used. Just give you some idea. We did a joint here, did we? We made a on the door. We welded that. We put a nut welded onto there, and we're using this as a joint. But again, use the socket. If you remember, we used a socket here as well, didn't we? We'd made a keep for the door, and then to make that was it. But we put a socket in there, didn't we? And it's perfectly good. Now, a keep, we put it through, and we welded it on, and I think we cut off the excess. I think we did. I don't really remember. But if you've got a big one and you've got to reduce it, get yourself a socket, a sacrificial socket. They are the great things, because this goes in there, doesn't it? The keep, that's just simply a mechanism to keep the keep. So the keep goes across. We did that around it, nice and sturdy, and then we reduced it. So we used it as a reducer there, didn't we? Yeah. So sacrificial sockets. Pick them up when you can. You know, cheap. I think the bloke said, I don't want to take them home, they're too heavy. So, and we bought the whole box, didn't we? Do you remember? So sacrificial sockets. Fill your boots with sacrificial sockets and you'll never go wrong. So our first attempt at this one, we're going to, you could just tap it on gently. We got ourselves a 9mm. That was probably an 10mm. So you could warm it up and bang it on top, or you could tap it in. Because we've got the vise here, we're going to use the strength of the vise. We're going to use the strength and the levelness of the vise. So what we're going to do is just gently. I mean, the socket may split. There is a chance the socket may split, but we've got plenty of more sacrificial sockets, haven't we? Yeah. So let's just gently force that on top of there. You do the same for hammering. Is it going to split? Is it going to split? To begin with, you tap it gently, turn it, tap it, turn it, tap it, turn it. Meanwhile, oh yeah, you can, taking quite some doing. This is beginning to, all of a sudden it'll go click, deform, won't it? We've got it on. We've got it on. Not squeeze it so it's got pressure against this surface. Just keep it off the surface that little bit. So let me just take that off. Are we going to do this live and at the scene? How are we going to do this? Hold on, don't fall. Have we got you? Right. Do you know what? I didn't get a I didn't get a thing, did I? Socket driver. Damn. Let me just go and get a socket driver for that. So here we are, live and at the scene. Got the T-bar. Let's see. Oh, has he tricked us? Is the Loctite in there? Oh, easy peasy. Easy peasy. You know. Easy peasy. Yeah, no problem. Except it's upwards, it's in our way for the next job, so let's get a little spanner and undo that, shall we? But yeah, a sacrificial socket, that's well jammed on in there. If you never used it again, it don't matter. You've done the job, haven't you? And you've picked up your sacrificial sockets. It was well and truly jammed in there. It's more aggravation trying to get the little nut out than what it does trying to get it off. Shows you how much of a grip it had. It's giving us, yeah, it's more of a challenge getting the nut out the end of the socket than what it was taking it off. So, little sneaky bugger. Look at this. You would think you'd just grip this, but I think this is a little trap waiting for us. This one here. And I'll tell you why. It's a nutsert, isn't it? That is a nutsert under there. So what he's done, he screwed the nut onto it. If I grab the bottom, I'll just be grabbing the edge of the nutsert and it'll just go around, won't it? And it'll lose its grip. I think we've got to be looking for a very faint line. Yeah. See the bottom of the nutsert under there, look. So we've not got to grab this. He's hoping we're going to grab the whole thing down to the bottom and going to spin the nutsert up. This, I believe, is a trap. A little sneaky swine. Look, there's a bottom and a top, and that top is the top of the nutsert. That's what I'm saying. Can you see the niece trying? Oh, look, you can see the difference between where the nut is and where the top of the nutsert is. Trying to blend them in together. Look, what a sneaky little rat. Look. Ooh, that's a nutsert up there as well. Wow, that's going to be. So anyway, I sort of had a plan for this, but I can't find the socket. I'll have another look. Do you know those sockets? You've all seen them in the show. I was going to try. It's a socket, but it's got lots of little bars inside it. I think they've made them square now, but it's got lots of little round tubes inside. You sit it over and it fits any sort of size, and then you turn it and it jams it in. I was going to use that. I know I've got one. We've all got them. We've all bought them out the show, haven't we? I'll try and find a picture and put a picture in what I'm on about. But these multi-grip, I was going to use one of those multi-grip sockets on that, but let's do this slightly another way. We might have to use the same tool on that and that, because the tool I'm going to use on this, I was going to use on that. But we've still got plenty to play with. So let's have a bash with this. The tool we're going to attempt with this one, we've all been there. We've all been to the show, haven't we? I mean, I love these demonstrations. You know, demonstrate me whatever you want to sell me. I've already bought it. You know, you buy them. These super grip, I think they're called. Yeah. Been at a show, some blokes demonstrated. I seem to remember him hanging off a tube with these things. They're great. And the reason I'm choosing these is because, you know, a lot of them are made to grip in the middle of the surface, aren't they? But if you notice with these, that grip comes right to the edge. So you can use the very, very edge. Hold on. Because the way they're made, you can use the very, very edge of the grip, so you can grip something. They're pretty good at gripping, to be honest with you. Yeah, I've given loads of abuse over the years, but they grip real just on the edge, aren't they? So let's give these a bash. I'm hoping this will just grip the top bit of it rather than grip the whole thing. Yeah, because I think it's a trap. I think it's a nutsert that's under there. Yeah, so let's have a bash at that then. I think this is going to be a slightly delicate operation. Yeah. Oh, got it. Oh, now it's jammed. Ah, is that because the nutsert slipped? Is the nutsert slipping with it? I think it is. Hold on, get the best grip we can get on it. Let's go one size up. Let's go one size up. Oh, no, it's coming again. Coming again. Oh. Oh. Oh, not as bad as we thought. Why did I thought? Look. That's come okay, hasn't it? That's come okay. Here's the nutsert. I thought that nutsert was going to have a surface on it. Anyway, so yeah, we could use that on this as well. We're lucky because we've got this flat surface to work on. You haven't always got that sort of space, have you? No. But actually we will, because that's a slightly different proposition to what I'm thinking of. I don't think he said we can drill them out. I'm sure he said you can't drill them out, but we're just going to try something different. We will, but we're going to extract it like a broken stud. But this, again, just showing you that this has got grip right to the very edge. And again, that one's fairly... Ooh, is he going to slip? Go on, hold that down flat. Yeah, that's got it. Again, this... And that, again, that's quite an easy... They weren't, to be honest, they weren't in tight. Just a case of getting the right tool to grip them. And again, this... You've got... I don't think mole grips would have done it, because I don't think mole grips get the grip to the very end, to the very edge. And these things tighten as they go along. So, that one's okay. So, let's, how are we going to, and again, that's a nutsert. So, yeah, that, hold on. That was in a nutsert, look. So what's the one behind it? That's just a screw in there. Oh, it's a tech screw. Ho, 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 look at that. That one back there is a tech screw. So that's going to be interesting. How are we going to get that tech screw out? Ooh. You can't really. It's very, because it's got a very thin stem. I thought this was going to be thread all the way through, like a bolt of some sort. Yeah, no, that's a tech screw in there. I can't remember. Are we allowed to use a chisel? I think for this case, we'll try and chisel this around, shall we? Can't remember if we were allowed. There's almost there's a remnant of the nut head on there, isn't there? There's a remnant of it. Just, ooh, I don't think the end of mine will do. I mean, we could try a socket on it, couldn't we? Sockets are very, well, I tell you what we could do. You know the front of a socket, it always has a rounded entrance to make it go on easily. Well, what if we cut the nose off a socket? Let's have a look. Random socket. Random socket's always a soft entrance. But if we cut the nose off this socket and put it on of the right size, is it enough to grip it, do you think? It's a good use of sacrificial sockets, isn't it? It is a good use. There's remnants of it there, look. You can just, will it grip enough? Oh, I don't know. Okay, leave that for now. This one here, it's a bit thicker, but it's still a screw, isn't it? So it's going to be so easy. We don't really want to. We don't want to just screw the head off it. You could drill all of these. You could drill a hole in, screw the head off, and then drill the thing out. I don't think we've got a depth. No. What we're going to do? We've already done that. We used that twice, haven't we? That tool. What are we going to use different on this one? I'll tell you what I'm going to try on this one. Yeah. Right there, I've got an idea. Oh, the gas is coming to an end. I've been wanting to... Gone. I've been wanting to take this out the garage. It's good, it's great heat, but it's so dangerous. If ever there was a fire, you know, a fireman is expecting one of these in a garage, but if ever this thing caught fire, I've got that many gas bottles in here. So I don't want to go back to a big gas bottle, because if ever this place caught fire and this thing exploded and it took a fireman's life, it would be unforgivable, wouldn't it? So I'm going to kick this out. I have thought of putting it outside and a pipe coming through, put it in a safer place, because at least if it was outside, the fireman would see that, you know, there's a fire, there's a bottle outside. They've got to keep cool. I do worry about the amount of gas I've got in this garage. Gas bottle, gas bottle, gas bottle, gas bottle. There's a gas bottle heater here somewhere, yeah. There's another gas bottle there. This diesel heater isn't a success. But I think that was my fault. I think I fried the damn thing. I cross-wired, or I'm sure I did something. So I think I killed that myself. This seems to be... Oh, although it's turned off now. Why has it turned itself off? Don't tell me that died as well. Anyway. Unless it's cut to temperature or something. Oh, that's the thing. Anyway, let's carry on. I found what I want. Do you see the entrance? The entrance to this. You do feel it. It does grip it. Just. So what we're going to do is we're going to file the nose off this. Yeah, we're going to file the nose. I sort of had in mind that I've got one. I've done it before. File the nose off something. I had a one that was well worn in the nose of it and was spinning, but I must have ditched it. So let's make another one. It's saw the nose off the end of this. I don't think they're in that tight, so I'm going to use the gun. Hopefully the impactness of the gun. A battery would help, wouldn't it? Let me get a battery for it. Hold on. You get a battery for it. There we are. So let's get a grip and let's do an opposite turn on it. It's going backwards. Right, come on. We're going to just watch it click into place. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, did it do it? I think it did. Success! It did. So you're going to pull it all the way out? Let's have a look. See if it does. Feel for it. I didn't cut that very off. Now you see it. It wasn't very flat, was it? But anyway, the main thing is we've got success and we've got the little sucker out. So, I'd call that a success. Let's take that out and let's attack this one next. So, this next one, it's a bit thicker, isn't it? It's a bit more meat to play with. This next one here. Again, we could just grip the edge and turn it. Shall we do that? No, we're not going to grip the edge and turn it. What we're going to try and do, we'll try and use this. We'll try and, it's not a stuck thread, snapped on stud. It's not a snap stud. But we'll sort of say use the same idea as a snapped stud, and we'll transfer that onto there afterwards. That's going to be a stinker to get to. Wow, that is. But anyway, let's do this one first. Yeah, I reckon the tools that we've been using would have got that similar. Yeah, but I'm going to show you something else on this one. This one we're going to find the same. We're not going to drill it out. We might end up drilling the head off, and I don't think we're allowed to drill the head off. I can't remember. We've got to start with just, it might be off centre. We're going to struggle in there. Look at that trap there. What a stinker that is. Let's try here. It's about the middle for what we want to do. One sharp shot. We've got it. That's all we need. Double tap that, get that smack on in the middle again. Is that there? Yeah, one sharp shot. Oh, don't miss. We ended up messing that up. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Nothing we can't deal with. Now, what I want to show you in this one. Hold there just a minute. I don't know if you use these. If you've got a pair of these. Look, backwards running drills. So as the process of running, hold on, backward running. As the process of drilling, where are you? As the process of drilling, we're going to be drilling, but also we're going to be slackening. The problem with a standard drill is when you're trying to get something out, you're drilling, but you're also drilling inwards. So you're tightening it all the time, tightening, 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 tightening. But what we're using here is a backward running drill. So as part of the drilling process and cutting the metal and gripping it, it's also unscrewing it as well, isn't it? So we're going to drill this backwards. Have we got a good line of sight on that? We're going to go in really small first. Smallish first. We could even go smaller than that, couldn't we? Yeah. I think we're going to go minute. Now you're going to see my drill snapping. My drill snapping. I snap drills all the time. All the time I snap drills. So there's a good chance I'm going to snap it. Wrong way around would be good first. Drill backwards, yeah. Let's try and get a beginning on that. Are we there? Is it going to go? We go nice and slowly, nice and steady. It's just beginning to make a mark. Here we go. Here we go, here we go. That's going to be just fine for what we want. Just fine. Obviously, it's not big enough to grip it yet. That's going to do a lovely beginning for the next size up. So we want to try and extract it, don't we? We're not at the point of drilling it out. We just purely want to extract it. Because I think it's off centre anyway. That's what might snap the drill. Let's do this. Right, run the drill backwards. Let's see if we can, by the process of drilling it backwards, have enough to pull it out. Let's see. You see that going backwards. No, we're going to drill the head off that, aren't we? And we haven't got the depth to play with. Oh, we're into it now. We've probably missed the middle. We've probably missed the middle, so yeah. Well, we might be there. We've got enough depth to play with now, I think. It's not really that tight, is it? I don't want to go that deep. But I don't think we've got enough to play with. But let's see if we can get the nose of an a reverse tap into it. So, are we aware? Are we up to date with these? Well, what we'll do, these are these, you know, an ordinary thread thing, you would thread inwards, wouldn't you? You would thread inwards, but these thread outwards, again, backwards, trying to pull out. They pull themselves in, they're a left-hand thread, they pull themselves in going backwards, whilst at the same time trying to get this out. So yeah. So I'm going to put this in here. Just sort of put it towards it. Just start it with a small, just make it bite. Just make it bite. Come on, bite. Come on, bite, you little demon. Yeah, it's going to begin to bite there. I can feel it. So press down on it and let it do its thing. Ooh, yeah, and now it's slacked it off. Look. See what it's done. So you've been doing everything backwards to get it out. Everything this has been tightening. So you haven't drilled it and made it tighter. You were drilling it backwards. That may have helped. And of course we've put the backwards tap on it. The screw extractor, whatever you call it. So we've got that out as well, haven't we? And just tapped it. Just need a bit of a... So we've got that one out. Woohoo! One more little stinker to do. Well then, what are we up against? Oh, he's a little demon, isn't he? Steve is a little demon. Again, I think it's some sort of a tech screw type thing. It's not in that deep, I don't think. I think it's not tight, is it? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? That's got to be drilled out, hasn't it? I don't think we've got much of a choice. It's only in a little one, but we can't grip around it. It's in a bad spot, isn't it? But we've got to try and do a top on that somehow. Make a surface. I mean, hit it with a punch, go in with a very, very small hole, and then slowly go bigger and bigger. The trouble is, this is some sort of an alloy, fairly soft screw, isn't it? How tough is that blob of weld? You can see it's a blob of weld, isn't it? How tough is that blob of weld on there? I'm tempted just to go in with a big drill. I mean, I guess if you had a milling machine, you'd put a mill and you'd mill a flat surface on there, wouldn't you? But we ain't got a mill. No. We've only got a punch and a drill. So we're just going to have to punch, make a punch mark. Then we've got to slowly increase it, go up and up and up until we think we've got a big enough grip to be able to extract that SOB. Yeah. Last one. Always the last one is the worst one, isn't it? I mean, we could try and tap this around. I mean, maybe that's the challenge. Maybe that's the trap. Shall we just tap this that way? And then unscrew it. Oh, I think we'll try that. I mean, is it cheating? I've shown you an extraction of one, so it'd only be replate. We're going to try that. We're going to see if, I would have done that and drilled it underneath and jammed it on, so you can't do it. So we're going to try and just tap this gently around and see if it brings the screw out. Because the job is only to get the screws out, isn't it? So we're not cheating, are we? Are we? Let's try that. We're going to try and gently persuade that to go that way. It's going. It's going. Oh! Going, gone. And look. Maybe that's what the puzzle was. Maybe that's what the puzzle was. Maybe that's what he wanted us to do and do them in that order. Let's see. It is coming. I'm putting a lot of force onto there. What would you use in there? I'll tell you what I've got that I might use in there. It is coming, but not coming very well. Hold on a minute. Usual, you buy this stuff, you very rarely use it. But when you want it, you want it. And when you need it, you need it. So we're going to use a thin nose, a long handled, thin nose pliers. We're going to go in there and we're going to grip it. We're going to slowly retract it. Yeah. Maybe he thought we were going to start from this side first and get ourselves in a whole world of pain. Maybe. Well, you let me know. Was that cheating a bit, or was that part of the plan? We'll ask Steve when we see him. We'll see him in the next few weeks when we all get back to normal after the Christmas break. Anyway, I'm quite pleased about that. Little job, little success. So thank you very much, Steve. Thank you very much for giving us that challenge. It's been quite interesting, hasn't it? It's been quite interesting. How would have you dealt with it? So, thank you very much, Steve from ONTOOLS, for giving us that challenge. Wow. Really interesting. Yeah. It's nice to make a plan, think about it, you know, have a good look at it, and then crack on with it. Yeah. I hope I've entertained you and used different methods. So do you know when you go and recheck your film, there's a bit that I thought I'd filmed and I didn't, and it was the nuts, the tech screw one. And what I did, here's the standard sort of, because they're easy to approach, you know, they're smaller here than what they are down there, and they're easy to approach. They're made that way. So then what I did, and I used this one, this is one that I've already used shortened, and it just gives it a grip. So what I did, I got this. I didn't realise I'd done it that, and I just cut the nose off of one of these, crooked, as it turned out. And it just makes it a more cleaner edge to grip it and unscrew it off. And that's how I got that tech screw out. And I'm just checking my film, because I don't make a film, check it, make a film and check it. You should really, whenever you're doing a series of films, you should really make your film, check that you've recorded it. Well, you know, stupid me, I turned it off to record and then turned it on to put it on the floor. So anyway, that's what we did. How we got that. That one of them was a tech screw on it, and it was a very, very faint grip. So I put it in the gun, and we undid it. We gripped it and pulled it off, didn't we? Yeah. So that was a bit of filming that I've cocked up. I didn't bleeding well check that it had recorded what I wanted it to record. But yeah, what we did, we sharpened up, and you can do that with sockets. They've all got like a very soft approach, haven't they? So that's a certain amount you can't grip. So all I did was chop the nose off. That's what I've done previously with this one, make it last a bit longer. See, it's slightly longer. I've cleaned the nose up on it. So we got this, and we cleaned it so it was just exactly as that, and it sat on top of the tech screw and turned it off. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully that explains the missing bit of when we took out this. I don't even know what I've done with the screw now. It's hit the deck. But the screw, with the tech screw, we just cleaned up the end and put it directly onto it. Where were we? Yeah, this is a... Go back a bit.
So here we are. Operation Socket is continuing.
Yeah, they were absolutely filthy. So let's go to the next film and look what they look like. Oh, that's what they were like.
You see already, these are looking.
That's
a little more decent.
Decent.
That you can work with. This lot.
That's how they came in.
The next lot's to go into the mud.
Ooh, yeah.
Into the mud.
Mud of petrol and oil and all sorts. That's where all them sockets came from. These were 3 years ago. Look. Hold on, we're going to get an answer in a minute.
How much was in the box?
I had my head cam on, didn't I?
And maybe that box. These 2 boxes there of the socket.
Boat's going to go and find out now. What do you think? It sounded like he wanted 30 and I offered him 20 and then he went halfway, which was 25. Let's have a look.
Alright, mate.
Yeah, just take a chance.
What do you think? Just maybe that box and that box. I'm just trying. I mean, if it's a good price, good. If it's not,
30 quid.
Yeah. That's gonna wipe my kitty out.
Yeah, I've only got 20 quid.
Would you do it for 20? 25 halfway. So all this and what's in my hand? Sorry, I picked that up. It's just a screwdriver and a pot. Yeah, for those. Come on then. You can tip them in there if you want.
Tip them in there, yeah, that's it. Throw them in. Random box. Bargain.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then that blue box is full of sockets as well. And
No,
that,
I'm not parking the car. Put this to one side.
yeah.
Put this to...
Oh, you could hardly lift it. Wow. That's why I love putting everything on YouTube. You can go back to it so quickly. You don't have to go up to the attic and find the pictures. So let's watch this for a minute or two.
Well, my little munchkins, my little toolaholics, I'm going to tell you a story. Have you got a good memory? I'm going to tell you a story about this plumb bob. Have you got a good memory? Do you remember when I bought that bullet? And then you good folk on the internet said that, Reggie, that thing's alive. And we called the police, and the non-policeman came around.
Let's go a bit quicker. Let's find the bullet. Oh yeah, here we are. We're finding the bullet here. The thing is, they were in a box of sockets.
Right there now. Oh, 55.6HN. And now.
Hold on now. Here it is. This is. Do you remember this? Look at this.
Oh, God, missing again.
We bought. Come on. There we are. Yeah. I had that on the wire brush. I was cleaning it on the wire brush. I don't think for 1 minute it would have gone bang, but I don't know.
That I bought
Yeah.
on the car boot,
Yeah.
and they came and took it away.
Yeah. But the only reason I mention it is because I remember I bought it with a bucket of sockets as well that day. Did we see any more of that? Here we are, look. It's here. There it is.
The tin.
Let's have a look.
And so it's there. There, anyway. And that one's called Good Find in the Car Boot, Scoutcrafter Screwdriver Styling.
Are we going to play it? Oh no. And here's the policeman taking it away.
So anyway, he's got to go, boys. He's got to go for that. For destruction. For destruction. Thanks for the advice. Right.
Let's see what he said. What did he say? What did he say?
We did report it. So you've got to take it away because
It's been reclaimed as
belongs to the military.
yes.
So anyway, he's got to go, boys.
And the thing was, I never even got my bleeding 50p back there, did I?
The advice. Right.
You think the copper would give me 50p for it, wouldn't he? We've been and we've seen and we've conquered, I said.
What? Yeah. No. Oh, got some junk. Look at this.
A fiver.
Look at this. A fiver for all this lot. A fiver. Yeah, £5 for this.
Now, if you look, the bullet is in here. It was the day we bought all the sockets. Look.
Look at that for a £5.
I went through a spell. Wait, let's see if we can see it. You ready with the pause button? Little footprint.
Is that original?
Let's see.
It's definitely footprint.
But is it the...
I don't even think we picked it up out of the
I
box.
think that's the buy of the day. she wanted. I just bought these so I can clean them up and do something with them, you know. She wanted £2 a piece. I thought, oh, sorry, love. I can't be doing much with them. So she agreed £1 a piece. So I bought a lot of them.
Come on, come on. You ready with the pause button?
Wire brush jobs.
Where do you see it? Do you see it? Oh,
The handles, I paid £50 for them.
it's in that box. Ah! Oh, stop! We missed it. It's down here, look.
It's the bottom right corner.
Yes, the bottom right corner.
The biggest screwdriver I could find.
Hmm.
So let's see what we can do. Scoutcrafter styley on that.
Yeah.
I bought that because I thought.
Look, it's there sitting there. We didn't know what it was, did we?
Anyway,
But I remember buying it the same day
let's get
I bought the sockets. Yeah, who knew there were bullets in that box? Before we close, just check out ONTOOLS. Thank you very much, Steve, for giving us a fantastic challenge.